This video's not made for kids, you crazy bitch-ass bastard!
It seems today that all you see is bouncing locomotives and stuff on TV. But where are those good old-fashioned values on which we used to rely? Lucky there's the tales of the rails. You're lucky there's a man who positively can do all the things that make us laugh and wail. It's the tales of the Northwestern Rails.
The snow had just started to fall on the island of Soto, and all the engines, as well as the narrow-gauge engines on the Skarloey Railway, are working hard through the snow and getting their jobs done in time for the holidays.
Greetings, Bedstead! How are things on the Lakeside Ulfstead line?
Oh, yeah, it's good.
Flying Bedstead, or Bedstead for short, isn't quite too fond of tender engines. He's heard bad experiences with them from the other engines. Though Bertram doesn't mind. He doesn't let a little thing like that interfere with his jobs. He was just going down the line when he heard an urgent whistle in front of him. It was Peter Sam. He was on top of the old wooden bridge that was fit to break.
Hold tight, Sam! I got you!
Bertram charged forward and pushed the train to safety. But as that happened, Bertram was starting to slide backwards with his tender derailed. Bertram puffed with all of his might, turning on his sanders. Suddenly, the drawbar behind him snapped, and Bertram shot forward away from the bridge. Luckily, no one was hurt. Bertram, are you all right?
Shaken, but relieved.
His tender, on the other hand, had plunged into the lake. Poor Bertram, along with what's left of his tender, were dragged to the steamworks. We salvaged as much as we could with your tender, senor, and it may take some time to rebuild it.
Much obliged, Victor.
A couple days have passed, and Bertram's tender was 25% complete when Mr. Percival strolled up in the steamworks. He looked rather worried.
Say, Victor, how much longer will it take for Bertram's tender to be rebuilt?
We just finished the chassis, sir. We're just getting started with the frames and base of the tender.
Oh dear, this just won't do. The railway's in a locomotive crisis. This hasn't happened since '96.
A locomotive crisis? Oh no! I need it on the railway, but how can I work without my tender?
I may have an idea. I just need blueprints of Percy.
And Delilah pointed out a certain engine part.
This may not be too bad.
At the depot, Rusty and Fred were idling at the yards when they saw an unfamiliar engine puff towards them.
Whoa! Who's this new engine?
Oh my giddy yet! Bertram!
Ta-da! What do you lads think?
The engine was Bertram. Only he didn't have his tender, but rather Delilah fitted him with a coal bunker behind his cab, making him look like a tank engine.
What do you think? A nifty alternative, right?
Man, I thought it was a new engine.
Sure, you just want another engine to do your job. Like always.
Rusty, I told you! The axle grease on me is frozen!
Now remember, you won't be able to go that far of a distance like you originally do with your tender, so be mindful of your amount of grapeseed husk in your bunker.
Right then, with both diesels out of commission, you're in charge of the maintenance train. You think you can take it?
With pleasure, sir.
And with that, Bertram got to work with the maintenance train, the weed killer train, and as well as some other activities as well, like passenger runs. And all the same, he was mindful of how much coal and grapeseed husks he was burning, and found some frequent stops to refill them. At the end of the day, Bertram had one final assignment. There was a vehicle at the Cattle Creek crossing with a broken axle. He was due to take it to the transfer yards.
Well, it's about bloody time, you teapot on a skateboard.
JTK62? A rather strange name for a car.
The two vehicles were making their way down the line when they were flagged down by a farmer at the apple orchard. "Please, could you take me donkey to the transfer yards for an engine to take him to the vet? He's fallen ill."
The poor creature. Load them in the van and we'll take it with us.
So that's what the crew did. Once the donkey was loaded, Bertram was suddenly feeling hot in the boiler.
Oh, why do I feel so hot all of a sudden?
His crew examined his gauges. "Water! You're low on water!" While the farmer phoned for another engine to help out Bertram, the fireman had an idea. He and the driver gathered clumps of snow and started to put it into Bertram's boiler, kind of acting like a substitute for water. But once they started off again, the snow suddenly melted rapidly. What started with half a tank full of snow had now been downsized to 1/16 full of water. The crew didn't want Bertram's boiler to burst, so they put it out as fire, and only made it as far as Krosny Kerwin. Poor Bertram was stranded. But just as they were hoping for a miracle, they heard a horn.
Bertram, I'm here to help.
Bedstead! Well, this is a surprise. I guess that now I'm a tank engine, you'll be more interested with me.
Actually, this gives me the opportunity to apologize. I'm sorry for not taking notice of you. I used to not be fond of tender engines, especially your brother Duke. But I had a pep talk with Thomas at the wharf, and learned that even if they can be puffed up at times, they still have a soft spot and can be friendly. I hope this rescue makes up for my behavior towards you.
It's more than enough, Bedstead, and I forgive you.
Bedstead was pleased and proud. "Hey, I don't mean to ruin the moment, but I got an auto repair shop to be at." Bedstead pulled Bertram and his anything goes train to the transfer yards. Mr. Percival was most delighted about Bedstead's actions, and as an award, Bedstead was given the honor to pull a passenger train down the line.
Hope you're ready for your first passenger run, Bedstead.
Gee, thanks, Mr. Percival. And thanks, everyone. This is a dream come true.
And with the guard's whistle and the honk of his horn, Bedstead departed off onto the Skarloey mainland, followed by a chorus of cheers.
Make it a good run, Bedstead.
And out of all the cheering and delight, it was Bertram who had the most excitement of all.